Now let's chat. Get it? Because like coffee and now we're chatting. Just forget it. Forget it. Just roll the intro. What's up, guys? It is your boy Jerome back at it with another video, and today we're going to be talking about coffee chats. Now, most of my content here revolves around investment banking and finance, but this concept of coffee chats is honestly super relevant to anyone who is in the recruiting process or trying to get another job. So if you're in that camp and not looking to get into investment banking, stick around because you might learn a thing or two in this video too. And for all of you that are new to the channel, welcome. I hope that you'll all please smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. So, what exactly is a coffee chat? Well, a coffee chat is essentially an informational, informal interview where you get to ask your questions about the firm that you're interested in and try to get answers to figure out what kind of firm it is, what the culture is like, and vice versa. They also get to interview you a little bit to figure out what kind of person you are. When we talk about coffee chats, there's actually three main things that I want to talk about today. The first of those is requesting a coffee chat. The second is the preparation you should do before the chat. And the last is how to act during the chat itself. And feel free to use the timestamps down below to jump around to whatever section you think is most helpful to you. So first, requesting a chat. The best way to request a coffee chat is to find people who are already in your network and already in the position that you're looking to apply for. What do I mean by this? Well, look through your LinkedIn, look at alumni from the school that you went to or graduate program that you're in, and those who are already in the specific position you're looking for. So if you're looking to become an investment banking associate, look up people that went to your school and are currently investment banking associates. I've said this so many times, but if you're able to find alumni, they are so much more likely to return a cold email than if you were just a random person that they have no connection to. If you're still in school, utilize your career clubs to see what kinds of connections they have, or even professors, and maybe they can introduce you to someone that they know in the industry. These people are the best way to get your foot in the door, so make sure you exhaust all of those options before you just start cold emailing or cold calling people. And to give you an example of the format that I like to use, here's actually an email that I have sent in the past. You always want to put your name and your school's name, in this case KFBS is Keenan Flagler Business School, in the subject of the email. This is mainly because these business professionals are going to have a ton of coffee chat requests coming into them all the time. So you don't want them to confuse you with another student or for them to have to go through a ton of different emails to figure out who you are. You want it always to right there be in the subject so they can very quickly identify who you are and what they're talking to you about. Another tip is when you request a coffee chat, give them 3 very specific times that you're available. So the way that I like to do this is I like to pick 3 different days and give them 1-hour time slots for each of those days and do one in the morning, one kind of around lunchtime, and one in the afternoon. Again, the thought process here is that you're making it as easy as possible for them and minimizing the number of emails that you have to send back and forth. Again, this is just to make things as easy as possible for them. Because say that you just say, hey, are you willing to have a coffee chat with me? They respond with, yes, when are you available? You again respond with just one time. Then now they have to respond and say, oh, I'm actually not available during that time. Can you give me another one? And you just have this continuous back and forth. And at a certain point, they're just going to get annoyed and stop responding. So to combat that, give them 3 times and let them pick out of those times. It simplifies the entire process, I promise. And the other thing I want to point out here, you might be wondering why only 1-hour time slots, Jerome? Why not give them 8 hours throughout the entire day? Tell them that I'm free all day. Well, the main reason is because more than likely, this isn't the only person you're reaching out to for a coffee chat. Now, if I send out a coffee chat request and block out 8 hours for this single person 3 days out of the week, I've just used up basically all of my time. And if that person doesn't respond to me with a specific time that they have in mind, I can't double schedule over that. So what I do is I just give out 1 hour blocks. And this is a good time to point out that the meeting itself won't be for an hour. It's probably only going to be 20 or 30 minutes max. But you give them an hour so they feel like they have a little bit of options. And then with the remaining time that you have in the day, you can send out 6 or 7 other coffee chat requests to other people. And then as they get scheduled, times will open up in your calendar and you'll be able to fill those with different people as well. Great, so now you've got your first coffee chat set up. Now to move on to the prep. So the first thing you need to do is, again, log back into LinkedIn and find the person that you're going to be chatting to and just absolutely stalk their profile as much as you can. Figure out their work history. What university did they go to for undergrad, maybe for graduate school? Where are they from and where do they currently live? Find out anything and everything you can about them, because this is going to be the ammo that you have for discussion topics when you eventually do talk to them. So, for example, maybe you went to the same undergrad university. You can talk about old professors that you had together. Or maybe you have the same major but from a different university, but you can still talk about kind of what that experience was like to be an undergrad in engineering or in finance. Or maybe you grew up in the same hometown and you didn't even know it. That's going to spark a conversation just like that because it's something that you have in common. The next thing you want to do is research the company. Make sure to look through their entire website, look through Google News, try to see what they've been doing recently and what it is that they do just overall, what their culture is like, everything you can. Now, next you're going to want to come up with a list of 10 to 15 questions out of all of the research that you've done. So that can be half split between questions, that you want to give to the individual. Maybe it's about their background, how they ended up in the career that they're in currently, or maybe it's just about the company and where they see the company going in the next 5 years. These questions should all convey that not only are you super interested in the firm and the position, but also that you've done your research and you can ask questions and speak to topics that maybe other people can't who didn't do their research. And at the same time, it's very important to not come off sounding too desperate. Sounds easy, right? So some good examples of questions that you could ask somebody is maybe ask them about their recruiting process and how they ended up in the position they're currently in. Or you could ask them about the culture at the firm or what the firm has done recently for diversity or anything like that. And you definitely want to ask about the recruiting process specifically at that firm, as well as the position that you want to be in. Ask as many questions about the position to show that you're interested. I'm going to say it one more time. The purpose of this meeting is to show that you're interested and to show them that you've done your research. And no trick questions. You don't want to put in all this effort just for them to end up not liking you because you gave them a question that they weren't able to answer and now they think that you're an asshole. So now you finally got your list of questions and it's time for the actual chat. First things first, make sure you're wearing business professional. This is not a casual meeting with a friend. You are, in fact, basically having an interview with a company. Listen, no one has ever lost a job offer because they were overdressed. But I'm sure many people have lost a job offer because they're underdressed. Like I said, the conversation's typically going to be between 20 and 30 minutes. The first 5 or so minutes is really just going to be kind of small talk and maybe introducing yourself to one another, and really kind of just an icebreaker. So this is a great time to use those things that you have in common to just kind of reminisce about. And if you don't have anything in common with them, it's perfectly fine to ask them if they saw the football game last night and talk about that for a little bit. After that, to start kind of the more formal interview process, they're going to ask you to tell them a little bit about yourself. Now, this is your opportunity to give them your 90-second elevator pitch on your background, why you're interested in the position, and why you think you're qualified. Once that's over, they'll open it up to questions, and now you can ask all of those questions that you've prepared beforehand. You'll probably have about 15 minutes left at this point, so make sure you pick the absolute best questions that you have. If you get a really good conversationalist, you may only end up using like 4 to 6 questions, which is a good thing. That means the conversation is going naturally, smoothly. You have follow-up questions that you can ask about. That's fine. But if you end up with someone who's very much a yes-no kind of answerer, then you might end up exhausting all 15 of those questions and might even have to come up with a few extra ones just on the spot. Finally, to finish up the coffee chat, what I always used to do was I used to ask one very playful final question. And I would set it up by saying, "Thank you guys so much for your time. I've got one final question of the day, and it's the most important one." And then I would ask them, "What is your favorite restaurant in Chapel Hill?" And truthfully, 9 times out of 10, this would throw them off. They would be expecting some really difficult investment banking related question, but they would get something super playful that no one had asked them before, and it would really make them focus in on me and actually remember me. And that's exactly what you want. You want the takeaway from this coffee chat to be that they remember who you are in this crowd of 80 other students that they've talked to this week. So make sure you think of your one memorable question that you ask at the very end. Congratulations, you finally made it through your very first coffee chat. Now, you only have 114 more to go until you get that interview for your dream job. Keep sending out those emails and talk to as many people as you can. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to smash that like button down below, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. As always, I'm Jerome with All Things Tech and Finance, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.